You are listening to Subject to Change. Real people experiencing real life, unscripted.
What is the topic of conversation today?
Well, there's definitely a couple of things. So this is our second episode.
Welcome to the second episode of Subject to Change.
Hello.
Hello.
We actually, there's something that we did not touch base on the first episode.
I'd love to dive into that.
Yeah. We didn't ask Dad here why he wants to do the podcast.
You didn't even get to do your introduction.
We didn't even do your introduction or anything.
Well, it's kind of cool. I'm just the monkey in the middle.
Oh, well, no.
No, we don't accept that.
No, that's not acceptable.
A huge piece of our team.
Why did I want to do the podcast? Well, because my daughter said she wanted to do a podcast. And then we were on the phone one night, and I just started giving her shit about it. And then we were just, for an hour and a half, just went back and forth, and it was kind of fun. We're like, well, shit, this could be a podcast then.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say shit, isn't I?
Absolutely.
And then we were talking about things, so we'd stop each other. No, save it for the podcast.
I love it.
Yeah, so kind of in a way also, somebody that just found their dad after not knowing she had a dad, and then I think maybe being able to, I don't know, talk about that. It's just good for us because since we don't have this 37-year-old relationship, that we can do it on a podcast.
Yeah.
We can get to know each other maybe a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting.
Yeah.
We'll just have to have the other kids on so that they
We'll
don't
have
get
to
off.
have the other kids.
I would love that.
Yeah, they're great.
Yes.
But that's not the topic of today's podcast.
Right, that was just
Right.
my intro.
Yeah. That was
Intro
Dad's
sponsored
intro.
by Nellie's or whatever they are, potato chips.
We think that's the name.
They were so good.
Yeah. So, Mallory and I have some news to share.
Oh,
We do
you gotta
have
break
some
right into it.
juicy news
Juicy.
that we thought would be best live and in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's unpack
what it's
this.
all
Raw
about.
reaction.
Let's do it.
Oh, dear.
So, as of today and as of, like a week and a half ago, we put in our resignations.
Ah, okay.
The one thing that brought us together
Oh, wow.
will not tear us apart.
No,
No.
she wanted it to.
it's bad.
She definitely did.
That bad. Wow, that
it,
sucks.
It was.
Oh, it got bad.
That sucks.
This past week was bad for me. Very, very bad.
She took away my laptop. I'm not going to go into details, but it hasn't been great for either one of us.
I got bit by bed bugs.
She did.
Yeah, at work?
And they knew about it.
Oh,
They knew that
when
it
you
was
went to visit
infestation, and they didn't do anything. To
And
it.
they
Yeah.
did not care.
They did not care.
Red flag.
And then they tried to fraud documentation.
Yeah, that happens
yeah.
in those places.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
But I
Yeah.
hate that you say that because it's like within the realm of normalcy and something that we've accepted for so long as a society. Like this should not be okay behavior.
Right. Meaning falsifying documents to get
Yeah.
Pushing
reimbursements.
services for
Also-
money.
Caring about our employees and their well-being.
Safety.
that too.
Health and safety. Yeah,
too.
that's a big one. Yeah. That was my breaking point. I had enough. I actually did, and I don't care who hears this because only they know what happened. We just won't mention names. But I did try to file a complaint with OSHA, but they said it was too general. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to drop it because it's just not worth. She's not worth my time. She's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I found that sometimes these things, as bad as they are, but you can't, it's not going to make any difference. You feel like, well, if I file a complaint or this happens or this happens, things will change and things will be better for somebody else, and it just doesn't happen.
They won't.
I think those kind of institutions and places just continue doing what they're doing to make as much money as possible. And yeah, they don't think about it until John Oliver or somebody exposes
Yep.
it.
Well, and I think and we're coming to it because we have another friend of ours that works there. He handed in his resignation as well.
Yeah.
And so my last day is Friday. His is Friday. I got a contract with another school So I'll be going back to
Like photography.
teaching.
Oh, nice.
Which
Yeah.
I'm
Well, that's
super
good.
Yeah.
stoked about.
Yeah,
And I think you're going to be.
and I'll be exploring
phenomenal.
putting in some application to colleges too,
Okay.
and exploring that. But at least I have 2 schools I can work with now, so I'm diving back into that
Good.
where I'm happy,
Good.
where I know I'm happy. So
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that.
Oh,
Happiness.
Yeah,
Let's dive
happy.
in.
So what does that look like for? Because I feel like you've, explored different things and haven't stayed around many too long
not lately.
to make sure what's happy for you.
Yeah, not lately. And I've dived into that myself. God, this sweater is really hot.
You're doing
It's
great.
really hot in here.
Put us on the spot, man.
So it's not that I was trying to find a career per se. It was more so trying to. Mallory needs to put her phone on
I'm so
silent.
sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
Put it on vibrate.
Okay. There it is.
Okay.
My sincerest apologies.
Podcast 101.
Podcast 101.
We'll edit that out.
But yeah, I feel like I was just trying to find something to play it safe and pay the bills, and that was it. But like when I first started substitute teaching, I really enjoyed it. It came easy to me, and I was happy doing it. But I also I felt, because I never used to try different, like I would stay at jobs really long, but within my marriage and then after getting laid off, and I always felt like I had to provide more because I felt guilty, and that
Provide
was an
more.
issue financially. So that's why I would keep seeking this stuff out, and then I'm never going to be happy anywhere because I know what I want to do, and I just don't let myself pursue it. But I'm going to now.
I love that.
I'm standing up for myself.
Because your voice matters.
My voice does matter, and that sign is coming with me when I leave.
It should.
Yep.
Yeah, I relate to you so much in that regard, though, just not staying at one place for too long. Prior to where we're working now, I had a really bad experience, and I just struggled to find the right fit.
And were you there longer than Sarah?
Yes, I've been there for a full year. So this has
Oh,
been
wow.
been almost a full year.
Oh, I thought you said 4 years.
No,
I was like,
full
no,
year.
Oh, I thought you said 4 years.
No.
That's what I thought she said.
Oh God, can you imagine?
Wow.
Dear Lord.
So my
God.
brain instantly went to,
trauma.
okay, Sarah comes in, and then all of a sudden you're leaving. What's the common denominator there?
Now stop it now. No, but she was
I'm kidding,
really
I'm kidding.
good at helping me see like there was a lot of things that were not okay that I was putting up with because of my prior experience with an employer previous to that, where I was actually let go because I dated someone's son. It was a whole thing.
We'll
But
talk about that one day.
yeah, we should dive in. But yeah, I've struggled to find the right fit. And I feel like a lot of people my age do. I don't want to feel like a failure, but I also do. And I don't know how to combat that.
So, yeah, and one thing, I want to go back to your point about leaving at the right time or soon and not staying around. Because employers, they tell you as an administrator, CEO, whatever, fire often and fire fast, which means if it's not a fit, then you let them go. And employees should feel the same way. Like, look, if it's not a fit, I'm out. And I think gone are the days, or should be at least, of the days of, oh, I'm looking at your resume and you see all these jobs. It's like, I think it's perfectly appropriate to go, well, it just wasn't my fit. I mean, it might raise a flag to an employer, but they might, if they do their due diligence and call references and things like that, I do believe that it's all about fit. And that's what you look at as an administrator, is you look to see, hey, what's the best fit for our company? And I know that sometimes gets lost in, especially places like healthcare and mental health, where it's difficult to find people. You kind of just have to accept the people that come on, but then you have to deal with that because it might not be the right fit.
No.
And then it's leadership, and there's no leadership.
Leadership.
Definitely
Do you know how many leadership,
Leadership.
series I've attended with this job?
Oh my
More than
gosh.
ever.
So much, but yet the leader is not partaking in any of that.
I'm really I'm broken from this whole experience because I feel like I did a lot for her and
She had way more than me. I
had
just
a lot invested.
Yeah.
spotted it a lot really soon.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Oh, there needs to be one. Is that
You
right?
have you
I
have
am
a plan.
I'm a little bit paranoid about saying where I'm going, just because I've had past experiences where I have old bosses that call in and make sure that I don't, do well, or they terminate. I'm terrified to let anybody know where I'm going.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's Sarah opening a beer.
Sorry.
But I have accepted employment. Actually,
Oh, good.
yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
more than fine in that area.
Well, yeah, you can wait until you get there before you say
Yeah.
anything.
I promised her I would stay for a month because that's what she asked, and I feel like I
don't
want her
think
to
you
respect.
owe her that.
I would agree,
Yeah.
but it's been so long.
Yeah.
This is a hard one for me.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I have a question. So you found another employee. You got this contract for sub-teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So on this chase for happiness and a good fit, you didn't have to. Did you have to interview and do that do that contract?
No. I mean,
But you had to interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm curious about. So interviewing then, and then how do you like, what questions do you ask? What do you do in an interview to know that's the right fit?
That's a great point, because I'm always so nervous, like I'm selling myself, but in some way they're selling themselves
Yes,
as well.
that's become a new
100%.
topic of
It should be.
yes.
And that's been the biggest perspective change that I've had since having this, job that we're both leaving, because she didn't really care about us. It was her.
It was a very fast. I felt like I didn't have time to ask questions, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
it was such a rush. She was in a meeting while she was interviewing me.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like-
Well, there's a red flag.
Yeah, it should have been, but I was like, ooh, survival mode, desperation. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, no, whatever is going to figure itself out will when it's time. Right now,
I understand that.
it's, like I got to do what makes, where I feel comfortable. I know that it's a right fit because I know that's what, I wasn't stressed out about it. I love teaching. I love, being able to make a difference in someone's life every day.
You're going to be so good at it too.
I think it's awesome.
It is, yeah. I'm excited.
Your Aunt Amy got her
I
dream
know.
job teaching
I know,
after
and she loves it. Like every time she talks about it, she's
30
so
years
happy
of
about it.
nursing hell.
I love this.
Yeah.
Timing's perfect.
So yeah, I would say don't be afraid in an interview to always say, or at least think you're in the driver's seat, even though you may be desperate. You might be in survival mode, but that's such a critical thing to understand when you're interviewing. You have a choice. It's got to be a right fit for you, just like it is a right fit for the company. I've interviewed a lot of people, and I tend to just sell the company to the potential employer and not focus on the right fit. Then we move into, you take personality tests. I think those really work, but it depends on how big the organization is too.
Those are so
Is this-
intimidating.
Is this a new thing though within employers? Because even Mary does that. She has us take, and I did when I was employed at Denison, and I
Yeah.
feel like this is and I love it. I think it's a really good asset to have, so you know your employee, what their strengths are.
Is it though? Because I feel like, someone like me gets nervous about them, so I start lying on them because I say what I think the employer wants to know.
I'm skeptical like you, and I've been told that they are actually really accurate, and they actually can discern when you're, because I
when
think there's
you're
certain
lying.
questions that you think they're not using, but they actually are. Like, I know I like
BS
to pretend we're
questions.
smarter than the psychologist too, Sarah, but we're not.
And we're not. We're not. They're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, I always think I can outsmart the test.
I know. And some of the questions are so repetitive, and
I
it's
know.
like, Jesus.
But that's how they're
That's how they
trying
do
to
it.
figure you
That's how
out.
they
Yeah.
do
They're
it.
labeling me as a person.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how they answer when we worded it this way compared to this way.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very interesting.
I think it does work. At least the one that I took from some executive thing, and when the person that interprets the results told me, I was like, "Oh my god, that's 100% me."
yeah.
But then how you fit that into your organization, then that's a different thing. So, yeah, I don't know from an employee perspective or potential employee, like interviewee, like you guys are, that how you could use that, though, you'd have to know everyone else's personality score, and they're not going to tell you that. So.
Well, they do.
They'll tell you how you fit in the organization.
Yeah, so they give you a label. And so everybody really fit underneath the same umbrella. There was 2 categories majority of our employees fit under, with the exception of 2. So you're really putting 2 people out, and everybody can see it, that are, you're labeling them as being different, which I thought was interesting. Because our entire organization all had the same strengths, the same.
Are we talking about the current one?
I'm talking about the growth coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Is that
yeah.
what we're talking
Kudos to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that guy is great.
about? Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish she would have listened to him.
She never did.
Yeah, it's on your MacBook, and there's no way to
Oh, that's
silence
the-
it. There's
oh,
no way
really?
to silence it. Yeah,
Right. So I just turned the volume way down, so that should help.
yeah.
Were we talking about
The growth coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Brad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved his series. I really did. I got actually, I mean, I will give them kudos for the leadership training they've provided, because I've gotten to know my work style is the same as my relationship style. Like, so my love languages are the same as my work.
Well, it makes sense.
languages.
You're a person.
Yeah, it's really, they gave us this book to read. I'm excited to read it whenever I do, but I just wish that I don't think it was ever listened to
Yeah.
from the appropriate people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I can say from my experience that happens I think everywhere.
yeah,
You take the test and you go, well, it sounds like my boss isn't really listening to this.
no, exactly,
I think it happens
1,000% every day.
It's so hard because I've seen different sides of her. I've seen sides where she really is invested, and I've seen recently where she just does not care. And I don't know what happened, but it's like a switch that was flipped. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I think you need to be really aware of your employees, for you too, to know what their strengths are, to know how they can help be an asset in your company.
I will give her
100%.
kudos for telling me where my strength was, and that's why I did all of her projects.
Yours is documentation. Yeah. Which it is.
It is.
You're brilliant.
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everyone needs a good documenter.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, if they would have just paid me to work from home and audit all of our documentation all day, every day, I would be a happy camper. Nobody bug me, and I would be happy. But,
Oh, that
Yeah.
leads me to, so you just can't work with people?
no, I can work with people. It's just that office, there's nobody there. I'm in a prison, so I might as well just work from home, right?
Sometimes there's too many people there. It can be slightly toxic at times.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've developed a lot of, it's just, I don't like to be in that environment. It's just, we both became a little paranoid. Like, who's saying this? How do they know this? How did they, and it wasn't even bad stuff. It was just like, who is listening? Like,
Yeah.
we couldn't figure it out. And it bugged us for a while.
Now, do you think because you might have been targeted?
We were told on a multitude of times
yeah,
that
me
we
and
were
you.
too loud and having too
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
had too
remember
much
that.
fun, me and Mallory.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that the reason I ask that is I think that happens in, I would like to say, lots of organizations. And to me, I always blame leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, full transparency, I had the same issue with this company where when we hired a bunch of people, when we got funding, and it just all of a sudden, this is where the personalities started to happen,
Yeah.
and toxicities were happening. And then I'm like, well, wait, I feel like I'm a pretty good leader, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Because this was all happening. I had to fire a bunch of people. So I think it happens as soon as you put people together at work, it just all of a sudden becomes a toxic environment. And maybe I should reflect and look at, okay, I know there's things I probably could have done different. One of them, I don't think I was as involved as I should have been. I kind of took a step back, and I probably should have stayed without micromanaging, just staying involved. So again, that's leadership. So you need your leader to come in and go, okay, what's happening here? Sounds like in your case, the leadership was causing the toxicity to some extent.
There's, and when we talk to people about it, they're like, well, can't you report her? Can't you go to HR? She is HR. There is no
Right, small
department.
companies, that's
There
what
is
happens.
there is nothing. And, and like you said, I could see where her heart's at, and she cares, but at the same time, I just feel like over time, money got to her head about getting money for services, and it clouded the vision and clouded
Her judgment.
her judgment and how the company was going forward. I mean, to hire one person to change an entire program without a team, without an action plan, without anything, and just say, here you go. They give some ideas and write it in your one-on-one doc. That's not
Unrealistic.
it's it's very unrealistic. I can't just change a whole program in like a matter of weeks.
We shouldn't be expected to either.
No.
Yeah. So, but if you were given, okay, in 12 months we want a new program, start with a
Yeah, there's
outline.
no timelines. There was no timelines.
okay.
There was no like, I'm gonna, here's some resources I think would help. Like there was no, it was just like, here,
Yeah.
like here you go. And then you get told you fail every time there's a meeting.
Yeah.
You're doing terrible. We need new ideas. You're doing terrible. We need new ideas. Like
The
It's-
Steve Jobs approach.
yeah, it's really, but that wasn't what, it was just once my health and safety got, violated there, that I'd never been bit before. I saw it crawl out of my shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I
Yeah.
called Mom freaking out. And like part of her starts laughing, and then she's like, do I need to come down there?
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't know. I feel like I've been in hotels with bed bugs before.
Yeah, I saw roaches before in a hotel.
Oh,
I
that's-
hadn't, yeah.
That's commonplace.
I know, and that
Please.
was like that day I saw a roach across the
I see
floor.
them in hospitals, to be honest.
And I was like,
That is
the roach didn't bother me because I was like, well, I know it won't bite. I just know, okay, maybe he has a roach problem. So I was like, come on, let's go to the store. Let's go get trash bags. And then we came back, and I'm like, I had my backpack on. I'm just sitting in the corner, always mopping the floor, and I see one bed bug by the door, like crawling up the wall, and I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, how'd you know that? I thought you can't see bed bugs.
Yes, you can. They look like ticks.
I didn't know either.
Yeah. So I started investigating. They were all around the walls. It was in this couch frame. And then I saw like, okay, that's why my foot was itching at the store. And then I'm like, okay, like I saw someone's clothes that were sitting on the table, and I was like, let's go to the laundromat. And I'm sitting there, and like all of a sudden I start itching again, and it was crawling out of my shoe. And at that point I was like, I don't care if your clothes are dry, we're leaving, because I got to go home. Like, I got to go back to the office. But, like, nobody cared. Nobody, like, and I proved that they knew about it before it happened.
Yeah.
I was warned that there was a gnat problem, but the bed bug problem was withheld. And I followed up with the employee that reported it, and he showed me the text message. So they withheld the information from me. I was going into a war zone. Like, I would rather get bit by a spider. Okay?
Yeah.
I
Look at
could have
these.
brought that home.
Look at these.
Yeah, you want to see my foot? I still have the scars.
So gross.
I could tell. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. That's exactly what
That
it
is
looked like.
disgusting.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Ew, look at the. Ew.
Yeah.
They're
Oh my
just-
God.
So the next day, you want to make
They're
fun
just
of me
part
for
of the
carrying
world.
bed bug spray to someone
Not my
else's
world.
house? No.
God.
As far as you know.
No, it was a traumatic experience, and it was very stressful. And then to be told, well, in your FYI report, we got to change a few words because the board doesn't like it when we end services early. I just
Stop
lost
it.
it. I lost it. But they didn't change my words, probably because I lost it, and they know I'm going to keep up with you because I'm keeping track of everything I did, all the documentation, all the text messages. I don't mess around. Like, I could have brought that home.
You could have, and they
Like-
spread so freaking fast.
I would have
and-
just. I would assume you did. So I would.
Oh, dear.
Definitely fumigated the house.
Oh, yeah. Sammy was like, you're lucky I let you in that day.
I remember treating a patient one time. Then they had bed bugs. And we would have to we went into the treatment room after every treatment and sprayed that spray. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Gross.
yeah.
Well, I think it wasn't just that. It was probably a culmination.
Oh, yeah. That was
Culmination.
the icing on the
Straw,
cake.
Yeah.
That was icing on the cake. And
this-
then I did actually yell at her the week before.
Good for you.
Yeah, was it warranted? Probably. Should I have? Probably not. But it was, it was the day before JT was supposed to happen, but he rescheduled because of the laryngitis. And all is
Justin
forgiven.
Timberlake for you
All is forgiven. All is
kids
forgiven.
out there that
JT.
don't know who that is.
I'll wait for you.
Like me.
It's
I'll
worth
wait
the
for
wait.
you.
It's worth the wait. But they tell us, don't check your emails after hours. You don't respond, don't check them. So I didn't. And I'm in there meeting with another coworker, and I was supposed to be on our day service program that day, but I thought I was supposed to be servicing someone else. And she was like, did you get the email? I was like, no. And I get like 5 emails of all of these schedule changes. She wanted me to work a 13-hour day the next day and come in at 7 a.m.
Oh, she did that to me all the time.
And I was like, no. And I flipped out in the office with the coworker, like, this isn't my effing life. I'm not married to this place. Like, I was freaking out because I was like, I just got done telling her, like, this is my personal life. This is where I'm at. Like, I can't be working all these extra hours. Like, and she comes in and she's like, I need to talk to Sarah. And I'm like, you could talk to me. And I just like lost it on her. I was like, I got to draw a line somewhere. Like, that is it. I'm not doing it. Like, that was just like...
I was so proud of you.
It was bad, but yeah, I was proud of myself because I don't think she was silent. She didn't have anything to say to me after that because I don't think she saw it coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But the coworker was like, "Oh my god, like, what is going on?"
I'm
Probably shouldn't talk about it.
yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah,
Well, it's good that you're getting it out, though,
Yeah.
both of you. And moving
yeah.
on
I've
to new
never.
things.
I would go back and work for my most toxic boss I've had before I
Oh,
go
wow.
back to
That's
work
saying
for
something,
her.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah, as far as job related experiences, we shared our
Yeah.
story.
and hopefully this helps someone else.
Yeah.
And letting them know that it's okay to move on and don't feel like you have to stay.
Yeah. Thanks
Agreed.
for joining us.
And
on
be
another-
ready. Well, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and be ready for your interviews the next time and realize that
Yeah.
you have a choice.
Yes. you
Yes.
do. Your voice matters.
It absolutely
It
does.
does.
Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't.
All right. Well, this
Thanks
is.
for joining us on another episode of Subject to Change.
I'm Sarah,
I'm Mallory.
And I'm the monkey in the middle.
and everything is fine.